Yeah, thank you, Liabo. Today is, as you say, a wonderful event for ABSA and a big moment for us as we celebrate what we call ABSA Ikaya. ABSA has been on a journey to become a purpose-led organization for quite some time now. And obviously, as part of our strategy and our ESG initiatives, being an active force for good in the communities that we operate for us is very, very, very important. So to be able to celebrate making all our colleagues shareholders today is a wonderful, wonderful day for us. And as you can hear, a wonderful day for all the colleagues that work for ABSA.
I had the pleasure of speaking to some of the colleagues earlier on, and I can tell you that they're quite excited, and the hope that was in their faces, one could not miss it. But take us through your confidence and tell us about how the deal is structured, how it's financed, how it will work, just for viewers, who have an interest in understanding it.
Yeah. No, thank you, Liabo. I think what's important for us is that our commitment to empowerment and broad-based empowerment in South Africa is unconditional. And it's a key part of our effort. So for us to be able to announce this broad-based economic empowerment transaction today is a big celebration for us as ABSA. I think what makes this transaction unique is the fact that we're embracing all our colleagues who works for us every single day, and it makes our organization, what it is every single day, celebrate them in this moment. But not just our colleagues, it's also the communities that we operate in. So a big part of this is not just empowering our colleagues by making them shareholders in our organization, but also making sure the communities that we operate in also benefit from ABSA and ABSA success. So as part of this transaction, we will also do a CSI trust, a corporate social investment trust, that will invest in communities across two core areas for us, which is education and youth employability, both two areas that are of priority focuses in South Africa. So it's both for our colleagues as well as for our communities, and at the same time it empowers ABSA and their ownership in ABSA, in the hands of all South Africans.
But from my understanding, it's that it's not all the ABSA workforce across the continent that benefits. Only, I think, is it 26,000. Take us through the other important numbers that we should know about this deal.
So in South Africa, as you say, there are 26,000 colleagues, more or less, that will benefit directly from this initiative. But also our colleagues in our other markets will also benefit from this transaction by getting a cash-based incentive that is equivalent to what we're giving the colleagues in South Africa. For us in South Africa, it's important because more than 20,000 of our colleagues in South Africa are Black African, and they will also get an additional 20% free shares in this initiative, together with what we're going to do in the CSI Trust. So this transaction is worth over 11 billion rand, which makes it one of the biggest empowerment transactions in recent times, in the financial industry.
You did mention before that it is obviously empowerment schemes are not unique, but this one, it has its own hallmarks. Maybe remind us again about why this particular one is so special, and also maybe hone into the issue of the extra 25. Is it 25% of shareholding that you are giving? Maybe explain that in a little bit more detail.
So for our colleagues in South Africa, everybody will get shares in ABSA. What that means is they will become a shareholder from today. The shares will vest 5 years from today. What makes this unique is the fact that they don't have to borrow money to get the shares in ABSA. ABSA is gifting the shares to all our colleagues. What will happen as part of this process, they'll start sharing in the dividends from year one, so they get the benefit from year one, which means they'll behave like shareholders in our organization. Because of the black empowerment structure in this, we're giving our black colleagues an extra 20% of shares, free shares as part of this transaction. So the bulk of the benefit goes to black South Africans. I think what's also unique is not just our colleagues, as I said earlier, it's also the communities that we operate in. So we will invest significantly in education and youth employability. So ABSA will be one of the major contributors to education in South Africa as a consequence of this transaction.
Obviously, the world of investing works in that if you are a shareholder of a company, if the company does well, you do well through dividends. Have you explained this to the workers? Is the buy-in just there for them?
Yeah. So look, our colleagues are very excited to finally be shareholders in our organization. As you can hear in the background, this transaction is unique, as we've explained it, which means the colleagues didn't have to borrow to get shares in the company. ABSA is funding that structure fully, on behalf of all the colleagues, which means that they will benefit from this irrespective. So there's only upside for our colleagues and our communities in this transaction. What it means, though, is that the colleagues engage with the organization in a very different way, in a very meaningful way. And this is all about ABSA right now, is we want to empower Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time, which means our colleagues come to work knowing that they're shareholders, and what makes this special is that they will contribute and benefit from the success of ABSA, but also so will the communities that we're going to invest in. So we will choose the communities that we want to benefit from this. So hundreds of thousands of African, Black African, South African communities out there will also benefit from our investment in education as well as youth employability.